Well, we're on the cusp of April. That means only one thing. You're going into Europe, you're winning the league, you're getting automatically promoted, you're in the playoffs, or you're in the relegation dogfight. So let's see how we can profit from the run-in. These are the 6 elements to profit from the run-in. Element number 1, we're looking for motivation. 2, time pressure. It's now or never. 3, taking points off near rivals. These are the key matches to profit from. Mathematics, bit of calculating required. If they get a win today, where will that leave them, etc. Dead rubbers, avoid, don't get tempted in. You're going to see a lot of dead rubbers as we enter the last couple of weeks of April. Second to last and last days of the season, going back to the time pressure element. If you've only got 2 matches left in order to salvage your season, and you need, let's say, 4 points from those 2 matches, and you've got a fair indicator of how that team's going to perform on their second to last match, that's going to count, and the last match of the season as well, that's going to count. So let's move on. Have a look at motivation. So you're profiting from the run-in. We're looking for top leagues, European competition places. There's no promotion, of course, is there? So we're looking at Champions League places, aren't we? We're looking at Europa League places, Europa Conference League places. Arguably, for the top leagues, you're looking at prize money for higher places as well. Secondary leagues, you're looking, of course, for automatic promotion places, i.e. you don't need the playoff. Absolutely the ideal goal for all of these sides, of course. Promotion playoff place, this is where potential heartache can come in. But let's say there's only 4 places available and you're just outside. That's the motivation I'm looking for. Motivation 2, to stay in the promotion playoff places. Of course, we're going to be looking in all of these leagues at teams seeking to avoid a relegation place or aim, where available, for a relegation playoff place. You'll see those relegation playoff places mostly in the likes of the Bundesliga 2, Serie A B, etc., the secondary leagues. But that's a side's last grasp of the straw. The relegation playoff place. One more swing of the bat. How many more metaphors can I get out here? If it's available points wise, and they know they won't get out of the bottom 3, that's motivation, isn't it? One of the absolutely ideal tools for you is the live standings at soccer24.com. If you click on the live standings, you can get an idea while matches are in play of the motivation I've been talking about. So this is a match which is in play while I'm doing the video. No elite leagues playing at the moment. It's the international break. But this will give you an indication of what's required. How long's left in this match? Because this side could do with an equaliser, couldn't they? To go top. That's huge motivation. We're looking at this lot. What's the key points? 50 plus. This will get you promotion. Only the one place available for promotion. So you could bet that this side, Sebat, Genklikspor, will be trying their damnedest to get out of this mess they're in. I don't know how long's left, but that would be a match to focus on, wouldn't it? Elsewhere, only one real side at the moment capable of breaking in to the promotion spots, the playoff places. That's James T. Kirkcaldy FK. But they're winning at the moment, so they'll be keen to keep this win to stay within grasp of the top 6. So this is the kind of motivating factor we're looking at. Even sides like this lot, 37th, all they need to do is to break into that 40-point barrier to have a chance at the top 6. got to break a two-match losing sequence. This would be another match with motivation that I would look to potentially trade, lay that late draw. Needs, must. This lot are getting a little detached now, aren't they? But they're only 9 points above the relegation zone, and that's where we'll turn to for more motivating factors. Well, Tugultu are out of it. They are the Southampton of their league. So you would be ignoring this lot. There's no motivation left for them, is there? Denizlispor with 13th on 20 points. A win could take this lot. Well, on equal parity, but negative goal difference. So you can see that draw would be something I would look to take on late on, wouldn't it? Motivation, motivation, motivation. This lot doing what they can. If they can hold on to 20 points with that win currently, they will bring 12th into the equation. Arguably 11th, but they're looking a little safer with a win and 2 draws required to catch them up. But they are on a winless streak. So you can see just in this league itself, all of the motivation required. This is pre-match. And you can tell if you're looking at motivated teams before matches have kicked off, well, you just go to the standings itself and you'll see with a win, go top. With a win, we'll stay top. Motivation for this lot to get a win, because with a win, they could potentially break into the top 6. So this is all pre-match without any results known. Important for this lot to get a win to bring this lot into the equation. This lot have to get a win and this lot are out of it. So anything, I think, as far as 12th at the moment, or arguably 11th, getting a bit desperate, aren't they? So that's the motivation I'm talking about. Either pre-match, give you an indicator of which matches to focus on, and then in the live standings where it all changes, you'll have to adapt, because if sides are putting in a good fist of it, but they're only, say, a win away from catapulting or changing their season potentially, that could take this lot to 49 points, breaking into the 50-point barrier, one of only 3 sides. So that's the kind of motivation we're looking for at the end of the season in the run-in. So from motivation, we move on to time pressure. Quite simply, from now on, for pretty much all of the teams, 3 points is good, 1 point is tolerable, and if it's 0-0 at half-time in specific matches, that pressure of having to do the business in only one half increases the urgency for a goal, and we can target that, as we've been doing very successfully in the live streams, laying those draws second half, particularly focusing on matches where, for example, the team with a win will go top. A team with a win will enter the playoffs. We're talking there Levante in Liga 2, Grimsby in, I think it's the lower tiers in England, Wimbledon, for example. A win could take them into the automatic promotion spots, and it's 0-0 at half-time. That's the kind of pressure we're looking into. And as I've alluded to, on the last day of the season, particularly the second half of the second half, we're talking real-time pressure. 10 minutes left, it's 0-0. One team wins, they will go into the automatic promotion spots. We've seen it time and time again. They produce the goods out of nowhere. So it's a great, the time pressure angle from the run-in is my key angle to creating low risk, high return plays. And a lot of them come in. You'll be absolutely amazed at the 80th, even 85th minute plus goals that come in on the second to last day and the last day of season, particularly if particularly if a win will change the complexion of a season. So watch out for that. Backed into a corner, I call it. No way out. You've got to get that win. Otherwise, your season is over. Here's an example I've alluded to and we profited from. Look at this last win, or the one before. Let's have a look. Levante had to win. Let's go back to the standings. Take 3 points away. 59, 58, 57, 56. All the way down here, a win will take them Don't forget motivation, automatic promotion spots. Playing a Castillon side whose motivation is waning a little. They're 5 points above the relegation zone. No urgency just yet. It all depends on what El Denza do, isn't it? There's only really one team to worry about for Castillon as far as relegation is concerned. But for Levante, a win takes them top. So with that in mind, how did this match unfold? Castillon score the first goal. Motivation, motivation, motivation. You go top with a win. Get stuck in. Get stuck out by half time. Boom. But you could get involved again. 1 point is not good enough for Levante. Automatic promotion. A chance at an automatic promotion spot with another goal. Romero's on a hat-trick. There is half an hour to go. Are you going to look and trust them? 88th minute, Della penalty. That could change the season. You could even wait late on. Motivation, motivation, motivation. Choosing the right teams, that's what it's all about at this stage of the season. Hugely motivated sides like Levante. This win, this last gasp winner, has potentially changed their season from playoff heartache to automatic promotion into La Liga. Wow. So arguably there was an element of time pressure there, wasn't there? Time was running out late on at 2-2. Levante go top with a win. So that time pressure still can be seen in that particular match. And it's still not the last day or the second to last day of the season, is it? There's still that motivation here at the back end of March. Taking points off near rivals. Teams in similar league positions must be ruthless and take points off their opponent. This is not a good time for empathy. Kill or be killed matches are good trading matches. Trade those draws if you see any late on. 3 points good, 1 point tolerable. Here's a good example of a kill or be killed match upcoming at the weekend in the English Championship. Hull are at home to Luton Town. Got to go all the way down. 19th place Hull are only, this is what I'm talking about, the mathematics section, 3 points above Derby County. But 19th, 3 points above, 3 places above the relegation zone. It's must-win territory. Hull, isn't it? But they're playing a Luton Town who must take points off Hull. They must keep Hull at 41. They must themselves move up to 38. And again, have Hull within 3 points. But Hull, unbeaten in 4 matches now. You can see the difference that this is making to their season. 3, 4, 7, 8 points. Take 8 points away from that. Boy, oh boy, are they in a spot of bother. Luton can do the same. Look at what 4 points has done to them. Importantly, brought them within 3 points of Derby and within a win and a draw of Cardiff, who've hit 3 losses in 4 matches. So this is what I'm talking about. Kill or be killed. You've got to take points off your near rival. Hull, no need for empathy here. You've got to take all 3 off Luton. You've got to leave them down there because that's 1 place. That's gone. That's 1 team taking up one of the 3 relegation places. Importantly, you'll move up to 44 points. Boom. All the way up here. Possibly 16th, depending on results, of course. Luton must make sure that Hull stay there and they must move up on parity with Derby. The goal difference is negative, so they're going to be looking at getting out points-wise. That's not going to do any good if you're on the same points as Derby at the last day of the season. 26 negative goal difference. So this is an ideal example to you of a kill or be killed match. You're going to see a lot of these matches in the run-in, and they are very, very good trading matches. Mathematics, as I just alluded to there, you've got to be able to add, well, mostly 3 points, take away 3. And don't forget, when the live standings are on, the current scoreline, if it's a 0-0, the point has been added already. You don't need to be Dr. Stephen Hawking or indeed have the brain power of Wayne Rooney, football genius. But knowing who needs what and how 3 points or 1 point impacts results is a key. Also knowing whose season is over is a key as well. So just having a walk through the English Championship, you can see motivation for me for Burnley. Must break that 80-point barrier. Add 3 to that, could possibly go top with a win. That's the mathematics coming in. So huge motivation for Burnley this weekend. One of only 3 points to be able to break into the 80-point barrier, and you can bet that automatic promotion will be based around the 80-point mark, of course. So Burnley have to win. Sunderland looking a bit comfortable. So you've got to be wary of complacency there from them, or a feeling that they're in the playoffs, but they won't be able to break in to the promotion spots. It's an 11-point difference. That's a lot, particularly when they're dropping points as well. Coventry been on a superb run under Fat Frank Lampard. Their best scenario will be to look after that 5th and 6th place. Again, using your maths, 10-point gap, very difficult to imagine Coventry getting any higher than 4th, isn't it? Or indeed Sunderland getting any higher than 3rd. So Burnley can still break into the automatic promotion spots, can't they? So that you can see that the maths fits in with the motivation element and the time pressure. Matches are running out. Outside of these places, there's only really 2 places available, aren't there, realistically, for Bristol City, Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Watford. Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday, arguably. The 50-point barrier then becomes crucial for these sides. And indeed for Norwich, breaking into that club and having a shout at West Brom, who, thankfully for all the rest of them, have dropped 6 points with those 3 draws. So as you can see, it's getting very interesting. And if you get the maths right, you'll be able to figure out who needs what and which matches are becoming dead rubbers. This kind of just outside the 50-point barrier, becoming a bit dead rubberish. Norwich may be losing heart, but they must break into the 50-point barrier. And at the bottom, still hope for Plymouth. They can't be discounted, albeit they are 2 consecutive wins away from reaching Cardiff. But again, the negative goal difference for Plymouth means that they've got to get out points-wise rather than equaling Derby's tally for Cardiff's tally for 4th bottom. So the maths is important. It'll tell us that Hull, Oxford United, Portsmouth, arguably Swansea, are still in the relegation dogfight. And from maths, we move to dead rubbers. Avoid dead rubbers once you know teams have no motivating factors left. I call it mid-table mediocrity. You're not going to get any places of any great importance at the top. You're not going to be relegated. You're stuck in the middle. Motivation is lacking. And remember this maxim when you're trading or thinking about trading a dead rubber. Teams that don't win or don't need to win rarely do win. Remember that maxim. It's going to save you a lot of money. Don't come crying to me if you're traded in a match where both teams don't get anywhere with a win or a draw. So now we've looked at the key elements from profiting from a run-in. Motivation. We must have teams with need. Time pressure. The more pressure there is, the more chance you'll get that the team will conjure up that goal you need as a trader if you've laid low to back high. Taking points off near rivals, you see that whole match against Luton at the weekend. That is a prime example. Both teams must take 3 points off that rival because it could condemn Luton to a bottom 3 place, scoot Hull up the league, or with Luton winning, could keep Hull within grasp of both Luton and Derby. So that's the kind of match. If that's 0-0, 90th minute, you know where I'm going to be, laying that draw. Mathematics, you've seen that put to good use in the English Championship. Who needs what? Plenty of teams involved in the playoffs still, mathematically. Plenty of teams still can be mathematically drawn into the relegation dogfight. So maths is a key component in the run-in. Dead rubbers, avoid. Teams that don't need to win rarely do. And the second to last and last days of the season. So we're going to be using live standings on the second to last and last days of the season. So let me take you back to a major league that's on at the moment, which has the live standings. So from the second, well, we're using them now already, but from the second to last and last days of the season, these will be crucial. You'll actually be changing your trading ideas based on sides moving up and down the table as goals come in or don't come in. For example, can you imagine if they can get the win, Agri move to 49 points if this was the last day of the season? That would be something I would be looking at. This lot doing all they can. Can't go any higher than 7th at the moment. This lot doing all they can as well to stay in that 6th place, as are this lot. So some real motivating factors there. Order Sport, okay at the moment. Can't really be caught yet in the playoff places. And at the bottom, increasingly adrift. Bottom side out of it. If this was the last day of the season, you would be ignoring their match unless it was against a side who needed points. For example, Sebat. Then Azil Sport doing, well, an extra 2 points to take them to 19. If this was the last day of the season, that wouldn't help them, would it? So you would ignore that. This lot with 2 points could take them to 20. But that would only be important if this lot lose. So these 2 matches would be important on the last day of the season. We're pretending this is the last day of the season. So we'd be focusing hugely on 14th, 13th, 2nd. Those would be my main matches, and 3rd to possibly end that draw. Those would be my main focuses. As you can see, we're homing in on teams who need points and for whom points will potentially change the whole complexion of the season, these 2 in particular. Turn that into a win, that's an extra 2 points. Turn that into a loss, this lot will overtake this lot points-wise. So fascinating last day of the season. I hope you'll be able to join me at footballtradingprofits.com. We'll be doing a lot of these for a lot of the major and secondary league. So that's a look at profiting from the run-in. I will see members of footballtradingprofits.com for exciting live streams throughout April and Telegram sessions. But whenever I see second to last and last day of the seasons, I get very excited. We can pull off some really big profits for very low risk.